The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. Monday morning feels good after a Sunday of football. Week 1 is in the books. We've got all of your reactions, overreactions, analysis of the games, and such. Welcome into the program. Be sure to like, share, and follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit us up in the comments here. Your big takeaways from Week 1. We are live in the Wicked Weed studio. WickedWeedBrewing.com. Drink different. Things didn't go all that well. We made a lot of picks, made a lot of predictions, and then the NFL took a big poo on our faces.
Yeah, it was less than ideal.
I went back through counting up the games that we picked on Friday with Chief Zach. We do the Beat the Chief every week, every Friday on the ESPN Asheville show. The Sports Take with Jeremy Greene, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, weekdays 3 to 5. And Jeremy, it looks like every game that we agreed on, we missed.
Wrong. Yeah.
All of them. Minnesota, San Francisco, Washington, Jacksonville, Kansas City, New England. All of them misses. The only ones any of us got right were the ones that we disagreed on. I went 7 and 6 in my NFL picks.
How the hell is that possible? There's 15 games.
Was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? I don't know. Fuck it. Math's hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were a lot of things that, I didn't fucking see that coming. Jacksonville sucked something awful. I was right about that. I just did not quite realize how badly they sucked. They are Hoover vacuum cleaner on a it broke and now sucks harder mode.
Excuse me, 7 and 7 on the main.
Jacksonville's the worst team that I have ever seen in my life.
They are awful.
They are the worst team I have ever seen in the NFL. I have been doing this for a long time. They are Detroit Lion Dan Orlovsky bad.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence, we told you he was going to throw some interceptions this season. He had 3 of them in his first game. Did have 3 touchdown passes as well, though. The fact that Urban Meyer only ran James Robinson 5 times really sticks in your craw.
Because Urban Meyer's a bad coach.
Yeah.
Just straight up, he's a bad coach. The team was horribly unprepared. They looked ragged as hell. I watched the All-22 last night, and I'll be honest with you, there were times that I, honest to God, didn't think they had a coach. They had 12 guys in a huddle at one point and didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Let me explain to you how stupid that is. At some point, you have to go, oh, wait, the configuration here is fucking off because you stand in the same place every freaking time.
Right.
So at some point you have to go, something's weird here. They never did. Uh-huh. They just broke the huddle like, do, and then 2 guys run to the same spot. Like, what the fuck are you doing here?
37-21.
Evan Doyle, I 100% agree with you. Urban Meyer will be gone before the season's over because he will not win a game.
There's no doubt about it.
I mean, I really look at that schedule for the Jaguars. Who are they going to beat? Legitimately, who are they going to beat?
We already thought the only games that they were going to win definitely were the 2 games against the Houston Texans.
Well, here's their schedule moving forward. They get to play the Denver Broncos next week, who just beat the bejesus out of the New York Giants. Yeah. By the way, if you listen to me on Melvin Gordon, you're welcome. Had him had a few shares of him in DraftKings, and that didn't suck. Raheem Mostert, on the other hand, sucks a lot.
Big.
Then they go Arizona Cardinals, at the Bengals,
lost.
Tennessee Titans,
lost.
Miami Dolphins.
Lost.
Then you get a bye week. You can't lose that week. After the bye, you go to the Seattle Sea Chickens, Buffalo Bills at the Colts, 49ers. There's not a game that they could win if they played 10 on 11 until week 12. And that's the Falcons, who might be the second worst team in the NFL.
The closest one in that list is the Cincinnati Bengals. And after they just beat the Minnesota Vikings, hell, maybe we were wrong about the Vikings.
100% we were. Since we're here, let's go down this path.
Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals fans, I wasn't ready to do this yet, but it's really important because we have a Bengals fan in the comments, and it might possibly be the only rational Bengals fan I've ever met in my life.
Right.
And I've never even met the guy. We just talk so often that I feel like we have. I want you to understand what I'm getting ready to say. Let me scroll through. I got to get to that game log because we're doing this out of order. First of all, Kirk Cousins threw for 350 yards on you, and you never really even showed that much opposition.
Yep.
Now, I need you to also understand this. The Minnesota Vikings, you had one turnover that was real bad. They had 116 yards in penalties, and if it wasn't for the best player on your team, you'd have lost.
Right.
At home to a team that I seriously think may be one of the 5 worst teams in the NFL. They have the worst offensive line by 10 miles. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not even they're Jacksonville Jaguar bad on the offensive line. Dalvin Cook, may God have mercy on your soul because this is not going to go well for you.
Yeah, blocking was a major problem for them, but Joe Burrow, he played pretty well.
Hey, who didn't know as soon as I started talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Jacksonville State reference wasn't going to get made.
2 points for Adam Black.
Let me just...
Nope. Yeah, it did it. Yeah, it did it. It did it. Wow, Jacksonville State.
How do you not play
second Hail Mary. Last second Hail Mary.
Literally, the kid can only throw a ball 40 yards in the fucking air. What are you scared of?
Eesh. I wasn't even watching that game. I had taken my football break for the evening. I was trying to watch a horrible fucking movie on HBO. Malignant. Don't even try. It's not good. But anyway, God, somebody in the text thread sent through the highlight of the Hail Mary, and I went, oh, poor Jeremy. Poor Jeremy.
I will say this. I think Florida State is today years old when they found out Jacksonville State's not in fucking Jacksonville. It's hard to be me.
Yeah.
We went down to Charlotte and watched my team just get... That score is not indicative of how ugly that game actually was.
Yeah, Carolina missed a lot of opportunities yesterday in that game.
By the way, Sam Darnold, you're welcome. Yeah. Carolina Panthers fans, I tried to tell you. If he has legitimate weapons, he's pretty good. And yesterday, he was pretty good.
He was pretty good. I mean, there were some bumps in the road. 19-14. Let's just go down the path here. 19-14. The Panthers beat the Jets. Sam had some struggles early. A couple of overthrows that were not great. There was that one play where his fullback knocked the fucking ball out of his hands, and I'm still trying to figure out how he gets the blame for that fumble down on a 4th and 1 play. But then he turned it around. He turned it around and was pretty damn efficient.
Well, Sam had nothing to do with the fumble. The fullback ran directly into him.
Oh, I know. But still, it's like, oh, yeah, well, he lost the fumble. Well, yeah. It got knocked out of his hand by his own fullback, so I'm not giving him down the road for that. 279 yards, touchdown. He ran one in as well, 24 of 35. I don't think you could have asked for much more.
The thing about Darnold is I think as he grows in that Joe Brady offense, he's going to put up tremendous numbers. Mm-hmm. He is fantasy relevant. I've told you that from the get-go. I told you to play him on DraftKings yesterday. You're welcome. I also said to play Jameis Winston. So maybe I've become the quarterback whisperer this week because tight ends didn't quite go my way. But if you're a Carolina Panthers fan, there's a lot of things to be happy about.
Absolutely.
The defense was very good. Mm-hmm. I think that had a lot to do with how bad the Jets' offensive line was. But even then, they figured out in the first quarter the Jets can't pick up a stunt. The 5 starters for the Jets had played the first snap they'd ever played together was snap 1 of yesterday. And Carolina figured it out. And that's on Phil Snow, the defensive coordinator for the Panthers. He figured it out, and he just kept doing it because they could absolutely not stop the stunt. Yeah. And so poor little Zachy Wilson got his 12-year-old looking brains knocked out. I did see things to like about that kid, though.
So since we were in the stadium, we did not hear the commentary. Adam Black says apparently they kept saying on the commentary how the Panthers were not going to ride Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, it was weird, too.
They rode him like Seabiscuit.
Right, but it was weird, too, because when we were sitting there watching the game live, Sean Crow, who went on the trip with us and does high school football on 570 WWNC every Friday night, he said something to the effect of how McCaffrey hadn't been good all game. It's like, wait a minute.
He wasn't good running the ball.
True.
But
he
then
wasn't
again,
good running the ball,
thing I told you the Jets would be good at is stopping the run.
Right, but by volume, I mean, hell, he ended up with damn near 100 yards both sides, rushing and receiving.
And the rushing was more volume. Eventually he did. It wasn't I don't remember how long of a run it was exactly, but he finally popped one where he got around the outside.
It was like 17 yards or something.
That's what the Jets are going to do.
Yeah.
By the way, best tackling defense in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus yesterday. Care to take a stab at who it was?
No clue.
New York Jets. Best tackling team in the NFL.
Interesting.
I had to have one good fucking thing to say about yesterday. And we took a 5-hour journey to Charlotte,
right.
Of which the suite. I mean, just for future reference, if you ever ask me to go to a game, my first question is going to be, are we in a suite? If your answer is no, my second question is going to be, have you lost your fucking mind?
That's the problem. Once you show Jeremy the luxury life, quote unquote, he's never going back.
It's like the first time I flew first class. I went, well, we're not going back to the poor section anymore. That's not going to happen. You poor bastards, without your cookies and champagne, you keep your homeless asses back there.
So no more NFL games where you have to sit with the plebes.
Yeah, out. I'm so grossed out. And I swear to you, if I'm in first class and you peek your fucking head through that curtain, I will squirt you like a cat on the furniture. No. You take your imitation crab meat and get your ass back to coach.
The Jets' offensive line yesterday was very bad. They were very bad. Mekhi Becton got carted off. What'd you say that ended up being a sprain?
Yeah.
He went down.
MCL sprain. Fuck, I heard it pop. Yeah. I'm going to die. Sprain.
Yeah.
Third time I've seen him
got carted off the field, had the towel over his head. I mean, he was blubbering. And I looked at Jeremy and I said, it's just sad to see a big man blubber like that because he knows he's got a season-ending injury. And apparently it's just a sprain.
Yeah, he had a boo-boo. He might play next week.
But Zach Wilson got sacked 6 times. There were things, though, that you saw in his performance where he made some very athletic plays. Now, granted, he had to make the athletic play because he was fearing for his life. But he did much of the same at BYU. I think the preseason hype on Zach Wilson, it might have been a little overblown. What was it? Dan Orlovsky was calling him fucking Patrick Mahomes or some shit.
He's going to be real good. He's going to be real good. The off-balance throws were there. When he had time, it was very obvious. He got rattled for about 2 quarters where the game was too fast for him. Guess what? Trevor Lawrence did too. Against a far inferior team. The best rookie yesterday was Mac Jones by 10 miles. Mac Jones looked like the best quarterback out of the class.
Right.
He's not. And there's going to be great limitations with New England with Mac Jones. But the game's not too big for him. The other two, it's going to take some time because they don't have the pieces around them.
Yeah.
Jacksonville and the Jets do not have the pieces around these quarterbacks yet. Here's the thing. They got a lot of money and they got a lot of time. And pretty soon, you're going to have a new coach in Jacksonville. So maybe that coach can get the players that he wants.
Elijah Moore. You got any thoughts on Elijah Moore's performance?
He was open a few times.
Yeah.
Zach missed him on a wide open fade route.
Yeah, they just couldn't connect, and your little boyfriend ended up with 1 catch for 4 yards.
Yeah, that's one of those things that you see when you see it live, and you actually where we were sitting, especially on the opposite side, it was like watching all 22 tape for me, which was it's cool. I actually enjoyed when they were further away than when they were up close.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because I could see everything the way I wanted to see it. It does infuriate you a little bit when you see your receiver like, oh, wait, just look that way. Just turn your head.
The connection with Corey Davis is obviously a thing. 2 touchdowns yesterday to Corey Davis. Zach Wilson, I think his debut, I think you could chalk his debut up as a win. Even though they lost the game, there were some things that you saw that you really liked. Mm-hmm. And Sam Darnold's debut with the Carolina Panthers was a swimming success, in my opinion.
I'll tell you, we have a friend that was a beat writer for the Chiefs. He now works for Sports Illustrated. He sent me a text yesterday on the way back from Charlotte. Mm-hmm. And what it said verbatim was, what happened with Zach Wilson is why the Chiefs didn't start Pat Mahomes. Great in shorts. They were afraid of how acclimating to the speed of the game was going to work. That's why they played him in that last regular season game when they sat Alex Smith and played him, and that's why.
Yeah.
Is they were afraid the speed of the game would be too much because he went from Texas Tech to where he to Kansas City. Zach Wilson went from BYU to the Jets, and it was very obvious that the speed of the defense and open in the NFL and open in college are different. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, Zach Wilson learned that. Mm-hmm. He'll be better for it next week. He'll be better for next week, the week after.
Yep.
And I feel the same way about Trevor Lawrence. Problem is, I think Trevor Lawrence's coach is a bumbling fucking moron.
I think one thing we learned from week 1 in the NFL is that, Jeremy, you were underselling how bad the Atlanta Falcons are.
That defense sucks something terrible.
The Philadelphia Eagles stomped the Falcons in their home stadium 32-6.
And here did it change anything for me about how I feel about the Philadelphia Eagles?
No.
No, it didn't. Not one damn bit.
Mm-hmm.
I saw all the, maybe Jalen Hurts is the guy. No, he's not. No, he's not. Still can't make a tight window to throw to save his life. Guess who they get this week? 49ers.
Ouch.
No.
The week after that, at the Cowboys.
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
Then the Chiefs, and at the Panthers, and the Buccaneers. That's in a row. Yeah,
so what you're
Philadelphia's
saying is
going to be 1-5.
Right.
Cool. We beat the Falcons 32-8 or 32-6. Rudy toot. And you'll be 1-5.
Yeah.
Well, we won.
I mean, I don't know that it's going to be as bad as last year's start for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but remember, week 1, they beat the Indianapolis Colts, and we were like, oh, maybe they're not as bad as we think. And then they went on and did not win another game the entire season.
Yeah, they're not. The Eagles are not good, and the Falcons are the second worst team in the NFL.
Yeah.
The only thing I saw worse yesterday than the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Atlanta Falcons was that creepy, pseudo-realistic looking Panther that Carolina had that climbed off the top of the thing and stole the Jets flag and ripped it up on the field. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll share it on Twitter later.
No, it was cool.
It was fucking weird.
It was
and you know why it was weird? Because there were people on the field. So you have this pseudo-realistic Panther that's just out there squishing people like bugs, and then nothing happens to them, and you're like, that's bullshit. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Of course, that's the part you focused in on.
I kept waiting for Mothra to come in and just attack the Panther, like, boop, boop him on his little kitty cat nose.
It wasn't a little kitty cat. That was a big damn kitty cat. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I know. He tortured a whole village worth of Carolina Panthers media relations people that were on the field. Maybe clear the field before you do that. Just a thought.
I thought the people on the field made it look cooler. The fact that you can overlay that onto a live screen. You know, it's not supposed to be them reacting to a CG character. Your focus is supposed to be on that, not on the little tiny people on the field.
Well, here's the thing. Death's in the details, and I noticed all the details. And here's the thing. If you're going to have a superhuman alien kitty on the field, I want to see some squished villagers.
Superhuman alien kitty. Nice. I thought it was cool. Anyway, it was a good day for Jalen Hurts, but there again, it was the Falcons. And I've tried to tell you that I don't believe that Falcons defense is any good, and they just proved it yesterday. They couldn't get after the quarterback. They couldn't defend anything Jalen Hurts was throwing at them. And I've seen a lot of this. Does Matt Ryan suck? Yeah. No, I just think his team's bad.
Wait, ask it again.
Does Matt Ryan suck?
Wow, winning.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does, and he has the most immovable contract in the world. The Atlanta, I said this when Arthur Smith took this job. That is the one job I looked at and went, I don't know your path to relevancy because you're stuck with Matt Ryan. I saw, and I can't remember, Tyler, I can't remember his last name. He works with sports and culture media down in Greenville. He posted something about, is this Matt Ryan deal unmovable? Yes, it is 100% unmovable.
Yep.
It would cost them $40 million in cap space to have moved on this year. It'll cost $8 million in cap space next year and $40 million in dead money. They're not going to do it. Mainly because they're pressed up against the books anyway. Atlanta's just one of those teams you look at and go, sorry about your luck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be bleak for a while.
But I mean, you did it to yourself. You knew that this was coming. You knew that at some point Matt Ryan was not going to be able to live up to a $30 million a year contract. But at the time, you felt you had to sign the deal. And at the time, you did.
In the comments, Rob Johnson asked me what I thought about Kyle Pitts. I thought the same thing about Kyle Pitts that I thought about Calvin Ridley. You just completely abandoned them.
Yep.
I mean, Calvin Ridley had 5 targets on the first drive. He had 8 the rest of the game. Oh, but with the coverage, I don't care. At Philadelphia, there's nobody for Philadelphia that's good enough to lock down Calvin Ridley. And they didn't. They just went away from it. Then they started funneling targets to Kyle Pitts, and then they went away from him. So I have big reservations about Matt Ryan in that offense. I'm developing reservations about Arthur Smith. It's just not. It's not good. The Falcons are bad. The Falcons are going to lose a lot of games. And I'm sorry, London, that we are going to doom you to a game of the Falcons and the Jets 4 weeks from yesterday. We're sorry.
Yeah, Atlanta was not able to run the ball. In fact, Cordero Patterson, he was the leading rusher for the Atlanta Falcons.
Can I tell you a little secret about Cordero Patterson?
Yeah.
Cordero Patterson is the player that nobody in your league this week is going to pick up that you should. Because he is receiver eligible. And receiver was a big pile of duties yesterday, and it's going to continue being. It's going to continue being weird. Cordero Patterson's a guy that should be owned in every fantasy league in the world. And he will not be a high-end claim this week because, it was just game script. No, It's not. You remember the thing I told you about Wayne Gallman, if he's bad at football? Yeah, how many touches did he get yesterday? Okay, then. Cordero ran as the 2. He was on the depth chart as the 2. He will continue to be the 2.
Yep.
And he is a guy that has fantasy relevancy.
Yep.
Should you be starting him? No. But if something happened to Mike Davis, woo-hoo, oh boy, that could get fun in a hurry.
The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Buffalo Bills 23-16. Jeremy had that one right. Of course.
You ready to come off that, hey, Pittsburgh sucks. That line's terrible. Yeah, guess what? It's terrible yesterday. Beat the second best team in the AFC at home. What up?
No, because I don't feel great about either of these teams coming out of the game.
You're wrong then.
Why?
Because that's a dumb take. That's just straight up. That's dumb.
Okay.
These are name me 3 teams better than either one of these in the AFC. Please, God, say who I think you're going to say. I will tear you to shreds if you say who I think you're about to say.
One would be the Ravens.
Haven't seen them yet. So
one would be the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, I'll give you. Please, God, say who I think you're going to say.
I don't know.
There you go.
I don't know.
There you go. That's because there's not one. It's because there's not one. Tennessee Titans got scattered, smothered, and covered on their own home field.
Yep.
Cleveland Browns showed you exactly who they were. They are exactly who I told you they were. Oh, look at these great weapons around me. And you have a turd at quarterback. That's to me, Buffalo's the 2, and if you put a gun to my head and made me say who's the 3rd best team in the AFC right now, it's Pittsburgh Steelers. Because guess what? You can't score on them. The defense is ridiculous. And that was with T.J. Watt having practiced 2 times. You don't think that's going to get better? Because I do.
Yeah.
He had never played. I think the stat I saw was he had played like 60 downs with Alex Highsmith in his life before yesterday, and had never played one with Melvin Ingram on the other side.
Yep.
Okay then. They figured out. I'll be honest with you. That game was on in the suite we were in. They looked completely different from the first half to the second half, and it's only gonna get better.
Yeah.
And Najee Harris, was he effective? No, not really. But here's what he did. How many times last year did you see a game script where Ben Roethlisberger threw it 32 times and they ran it 21 times? Even though you only averaged 3.5 yards a carry. I don't care. And yes, I know that was with a 25-yard run by Chase Claypool. I don't care. Here's what I saw. Ben's not throwing the ball 50 times a game. He's not. They figured it out. I don't know if they had to get Randy, was it Feitner? Is that his last name? It'll come to me. The offensive coordinator. I think Mike Tomlin took him in a room and beat him with a stick and said, if you make Ben throw 50 times a game again, I'm going to leave you here chained to that fucking sewage pipe that burst in Washington.
Okay.
So yeah, I look at Pittsburgh now. I saw somebody say, Cleveland's better than Pittsburgh. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Because of the quarterback?
No, because the game with Kansas City yesterday was a fool's errand. Kansas City's defense is bad. All of that preseason hype I had of, Kansas City's defense is much better now. Yep. No, it's not.
It's the same old defense.
It's the same defense. They're going to have to outscore you. If they don't outscore you, you can beat them.
Now, they were playing a good team as well, and I get it. Here's the thing.
Adam Black, stop it.
What'd he say?
Adam Black just said the Broncos are better than the Steelers. Stop that. Stop that.
But they killed the Giants.
Whoa.
Yeah,
they beat the Giants. Two wild and crazy guys.
I'm not on that bandwagon, but, I mean, Josh Allen was not good yesterday, and you chalk that up to the Steelers' defense.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger didn't look great most of the game, but you chalk that up to the Buffalo Bills being able to get after quarterback, not the fact that they have question marks on their offensive line.
The Bills have a great big problem in that they cannot run a greasy peg up a cat's ass. Devin Singletary was okay until you really look at that stat line and go, if you take away the two biggest runs, he averaged 2 yards a carry.
But can you not say the same thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers and Najee Harris?
I don't need Najee Harris to be all that effective. First of all, I think he played one of the best run defenses in the league.
Okay.
As that line comes together, it's going to get better. I also think they saw yesterday, we probably don't need to be trying this 5-wide Pittsburgh Steeler if we're planning on running Najee.
Right.
There were times that they just put him in. I didn't watch a lot of that. I tried my best last night to go back and catch up to what I missed from being in the stadium yesterday. What little I saw of Najee Harris, there were times I didn't feel like they put him in the greatest position to succeed. Here's the other thing I'll tell you about the Steelers. The next 3 weeks, they play the Raiders, the Bengals, and at that shithole Packers team that we saw yesterday. That's going to be a pretty good, hey, let's get to know each other time.
Right.
Because I don't think 2 of those 3 teams could beat them on their worst day. And by the time you get to Lambeau, I think you'll have figured some shit out.
Yeah. I think Green Bay will have figured some shit out by then.
I didn't denigrate Buffalo at all. And frankly, I don't understand.
No.
I don't understand looking at what happened yesterday and going, Buffalo's not as good as I thought they were. Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah.
They played a ferocious pass rush. By the way, did it look like they missed Bud Dupree? Yeah, I didn't think so either. How good was he yesterday?
Yeah. The San Francisco 49ers, Detroit Lions. The 49ers were up 38-10 at one point in this game.
And didn't cover.
And did not cover their 8-point spread.
It literally pushed. You motherfuckers on a day that I could have just used the easy win, damn it.
41-33 ended up being the final score. First off, Raheem Mostert got hurt very early in this game. Who shocked? Elijah Mitchell came in and ran for 100 yards.
Oh, God, I love being right. Hey, you remember the thing I tried to tell you about Trey Sermon where people kept drafting him? They're like, he's so good.
Yeah.
He's running behind Elijah Mitchell. He was a healthy scratch yesterday. He is exactly what I saw on tape. He's a fun little, hey, end of the year, he's got fresh legs and everybody else doesn't. That's it. He's not a good running back. I don't know where this narrative came from that, Trey Sermon's so dynamic. No, he's not. He cannot pass block to save his life. He can hit an open hole. He gets exactly what's blocked for him. And if you remember in the pre-draft process, I told you about this spunky little running back from Louisiana Lafayette. There are actually 3 of them.
Yeah.
One of them's been cut. The other's on somebody's practice squad. And the third was Elijah Mitchell.
In our Sunday morning preview show, which will be live every other week of the season, I talked about, Penny Sewell getting the old shit job, as he's going to have to face Nick Bosa on his first game out, playing left tackle, filling in for Taylor Decker. And all I have seen, the breakdowns of his performance yesterday, he did really well. He struggled in the preseason, but yesterday he held his own against one of the best pass rushers in the NFL.
Oh, Jason Trump +3. The offensive coordinator for the Steelers is Matt Canada. The guy I was talking about was Randy Feichner. I had the name right, but he got +3.
Excised, yeah. Okay. Jared Goff, though? Do you feel different about Jared Goff after this game?
I feel the same about Jared Goff that I always did.
Trying to come back in the game, 338 yards by the end of it, 3 touchdowns. He almost had his team. They were right on the cusp of being able to tie that ball game.
And he was terrible.
Jared Goff was?
Yeah, but he threw up stats. You cannot ask a guy like Jared Goff to have leading targets without looking at the box score.
Okay.
3 guys had 8 receptions for the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
Name them.
Amon St. Brown.
Nope, he had 2.
T.J. Hawkinson.
He's 1.
Quez Watkins. Or no,
Quez Watkins
Quintez Cephas.
Quintez Cephas had 3.
I don't know. I can't
Deandre Swift and Jamal Williams.
Oh, the running backs. Yeah.
He completed 16 passes to running backs. That Detroit team is weird. Mm-hmm. By the way, I tried to tell you about Jamal Williams, and nobody wanted to listen to me.
You did.
DeAndre Swift fell in the end zone. In PPR, he was good. That's not going to be a consistent. Mm-hmm. San Francisco dropped back and just let shit happen.
Jamal Williams ended the day yesterday as the number 2 running back in fantasy football.
I played him in a series of places.
Shocking.
Where I was just killed at running back.
25 points yesterday. He had 54 yards, 1 touchdown rushing, and he caught 8 balls for 56 yards.
And you remember that thing I said about Brandon Ayuk being the absolute number 1 wide receiver that you should have played this week?
Yep.
It's weird. I have the speech impediment where Brandon Ayuk is how I say Deebo Samuel. It's weird how that works. I missed it by that much.
Yeah, 9 catches, 189 yards, and a touchdown. It was a pretty damn good day for Deebo Samuel.
Deebo is very, very good. If you own him, you should try to trade him immediately.
Trey Lance did see some time in this game through a touchdown pass. Yeah.
Let's play 2 quarterbacks. Yay. That'll be fun.
This is going to be fun.
That's worked every time somebody's ever tried to do it.
Well, and Jimmy Garoppolo didn't give you any warm feelings when he fumbled the first damn snap of the season. So, Trey Lance's time might be coming sooner than we think. He's already getting playing time.
Who starts a game first, Trey Lance or Justin Fields?
Justin Fields.
I don't know that I agree with you.
Really?
We'll talk about it when we get to the Chicago game.
Okay.
But I don't know that I agree with you. I think it's Trey Lance.
Okay. The Cardinals beat the Titans handily, 38-13.
I thought I was the highest person on planet Earth on the Cardinals. Yeah. Not anymore. That bandwagon just got fulled up.
Yes, it did. The pass rush was incredible for them yesterday. Chandler Jones had 5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. He was just eating. It's not Taylor Decker, who's the Taylor Lewan.
Taylor Lewan.
Oh, he was just eating his lunchbox all day long. Now, what do we think about the Cardinals? What do we think about the Titans really should be the question here, because the Cardinals, we all believe that they're top of the NFC type of team, top 8, somewhere in that area.
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're doing power rankings tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're better than that.
Oh, they're better than that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I'm going to struggle to not put 4 of the top 6 teams in the NFC in the same division. That's going to be difficult for me. I'm going to find a way to not do it.
Right.
I just don't know what it is yet.
I mean, as we were riding on the way back, I looked at Jeremy and I said, so are we saying that the Cardinals are the biggest threat in the NFC to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I can't tell you they're not.
After seeing the Rams last night, I would probably say no. They'd probably be my 2. But the Cardinals would be right there with them.
You know what would be unnerving for me if I was a Tennessee Titans fan?
What's that?
How many quarterbacks yesterday had a lower QBR than Ryan Tannehill?
Ooh, 4. 2.
Let's see if you can name them.
Oh, I can't name them. One would be Aaron Rodgers.
Worst QBR in the NFL. There's something I bet you didn't think you were going to say today.
Yeah. And the other would be, hell, I don't know. Carson Wentz?
Trevor Lawrence.
Wow.
First regular season
Despite the fact that he went over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's not how QBR works.
Okay.
QBR is truth serum. You want to know how quarterbacks actually played? Check that out. Because it brings in everything. It's not infallible, but it is the best metric by a mile.
Okay. Kyler Murray was unbelievable yesterday.
He was 6th highest in QBR yesterday.
5 total touchdowns. He threw for 4, ran for another one, added 20 rushing yards on top of his 289 yards passing. The Cardinals did exactly what I thought they were going to do to that Tennessee defense. It was just the Tennessee offense had nothing for the Cardinals defense. Maybe I was a little off on how good or questionable the Cardinals defense is, because they got after it all day long.
You remember the thing I tried to tell you about Derrick Henry?
Yep.
I saw it yesterday.
Did you?
I saw it yesterday.
Okay, that he's hit the apex of his career, and now the downfall begins.
He didn't look as explosive as he once did. He was always a rock rolling downhill. So he had to get the edge, and that's where you would really see how he looked half a step slower.
Okay.
And he was overall very, very bad. And I'm not saying that you should just bail water on Derrick Henry. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's something to watch. And something that you need to talk about is this was a home game. Do you realize how this team starts the season?
I don't remember.
This is until Thanksgiving. Next week, you're at Seattle. Then you play the Colts. I saw those teams pretty equivalently yesterday.
Okay.
At the Jets and at the Jaguars. Those are 2 bad teams, yes.
You should have
They are on the road.
Yep.
Just remember, they are on the road. Then you go Bills, Chiefs, at the Colts, at the Rams, Saints. That looks markedly different today than it did 48 hours ago.
Yeah. Although the Chiefs, they'll be able to put up points against the Chiefs.
But can you stop them?
No.
Here's the problem.
No.
All right, here's my problem with the Titans. This is one of the teams that I saw things yesterday and I went, uh-oh, that's a problem. The Titans' defense is bad.
Yeah.
So they're going to be in a lot of shootouts, right?
Yeah.
So you're in shootouts with Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes, and you get Ryan Tannehill. You know what I saw yesterday from Ryan Tannehill? Ryan Tannehill when he was forced to throw, and he didn't throw against stacked box. When he didn't throw against stacked box, he looked like Miami Ryan Tannehill. That was what Arthur Smith did so well. And I heard so many Titans fans say, oh, Ryan Tannehill he basically called the offense himself. It's all well and good. It's all well and good. Having that play caller is very, very important because they have the experience in this league of scripting out 5 plays ahead of time. And that's what I saw missing yesterday. It was like one play in the moment, let's just, maybe this will work. And it's going to be a problem. If you put a gun in my head right now and said, who wins the AFC South, I would still say the Tennessee Titans.
No, you sure you're not going Houston Texans?
But it's close. Not to Houston. Fuck Houston. They're the leader of the AFC South right now. They have 1 game lead on the rest of the division because everybody else lost.
That's the best dumb overreaction that I've heard today on national sports radio.
I'll give you 40-1 odds
Texans.
on the Texans if you'll give me the rest of the division.
Yeah.
For any amount of money you want to bet on it.
Houston Texans win the South. Somebody said that this morning.
Stop.
On a pretty big show.
Stop it.
Yeah.
There was a lot to be really nervous about with Tennessee, and they don't have another running back on that roster that should be in the league. You remember that Darrington Evans? Oh, somebody cut Darrington Evans in a league that you're in.
Yeah.
And you said, I can't believe somebody would do that. Yeah, how many touches did he get yesterday?
I thought he was on IR.
Oh, you're right. He is on IR.
Yeah.
Damn it. I was trying to be a dick.
No.
Yeah, he's on short-term IR.
Yeah, no, he's on IR. That doesn't count.
I was looking at the box score going, well, I mean, nobody else got carries anyway. So
well, no. And if he'd have been active, he wouldn't have gotten any carries either. He's only a guy that might have some interest in after an injury, God forbid, to Derrick Henry. Yeah, the Tennessee Titans, I agree with you. There's a lot of questions about how they looked yesterday. Interesting note from this game for me was that James Conner out-touched Chase Edmonds. And that, to me, is ridiculous. However, Chase Edmonds, on his 18 touches that he had, he was used in the passing game as we expected he would be, and he was more efficient.
How many times did I try to tell you that?
You did.
James Conner's going to have a bigger role than you think.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those things that get into fantasy owners' heads. They look at two guys and go, James Conner is way less talented than Chase Edmonds.
Yes.
Got that. What you think does not matter. What matters is what does Cliff Kingsbury think. And Cliff Kingsbury thinks that Chase Edmonds should never have more than 15 carries or 15 touches in a game.
Mm-hmm.
And he was at 16 yesterday.
Yep. Yesterday, Russ cooked against the Indianapolis Colts, as I predicted that he would. 28-16 was the final score. Seahawks on the road at the Colts. And there was a point in the game where Russ had more touchdowns than he did incompletions.
Mm-hmm.
He's amazing. Still, they ran the ball efficiently. Did you take anything away from the Seattle Seahawks defense, or was it more that the Indianapolis Colts failed on defense?
It was very obvious to me that Carson Wentz had been involved with the first team for about half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
They will get better as time goes on. I'll be honest with you. It was never really in doubt that Indianapolis was going to win this game.
Yep.
But there were large quantities of this game where I didn't feel like Seattle was markedly better.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Seattle is at the apex of what they can be, and I feel like the Colts are just scratching the surface.
Well, the Colts are figuring things out. Once again, it was a game where you saw Carson Wentz not get the protection that he needs. I think the stat that I saw was he only had a clean pocket 6 times in the entire game. That's ridiculous. He was hit several times. He was sacked 3 times. He lost a fumble in Carson Wentz fashion. Yeah, the question marks are there. But again, limited time in the preseason, obviously because of the injury. The fact that he was getting hit that much, though, gives me great concern. Because we thought these were all problems that would be fixed. Maybe not the fumbling problems, but at least the protection problems were what we thought were going to be fixed by him going to Indianapolis. And it just didn't bear itself out yesterday against a Seahawks defense that nobody believes in. I think that was the more glaring part of it all.
Yeah, I still look at Seattle and go, you're the 4th best team in your own division.
Yeah.
The Rams look great. The 49ers look great for 3.5 quarters. And the Cardinals were the most impressive team yesterday by a wide margin.
See, it's that 3.5 quarters thing with San Francisco that gives me pause on them. Is this going to be a theme? Are you going to allow too many teams to come back after you get sizable leads?
Jonathan Welch said, who on that Seattle D is elite? The entire front line. Please tell me you're fucking joking. Please tell me that was a joke. Because if not, I'm going to need you to explain it in 100 words or less. Name me the left tackle for the Indianapolis Colts. I'll wait. That line's decimated. Mm-hmm. And it's not all that good to begin with. Mm-hmm. Quentin Nelson's very good.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's not a whole lot to write home about. I mean, let me verify this before I say it. I was looking at Pro Football Focus grades earlier.
Okay. While you're looking that up, Jonathan Taylor yesterday in that game, he did okay. He did okay. He caught 6 passes, which was, to me, a great sign that he's going to be used more in the passing game. This was a lot like the game that we talked about before with Jalen Hurts, where, with Jared Goff, where he connected a lot to his running backs. I mean, there were 12 completions that Carson Wentz made to Jonathan Taylor and to Nyheim Hines. There was a lot of that short passing game work. They weren't able to run the ball a lot. Don't know how much that. I don't know how much credit you give the Seattle front for that, of him not being able to run or get a lot of carry or get a lot of yardage.
It was
on
more
his
game script to me. They got behind very, very early. I mean, and be really honest with yourself. You're looking at the in terms of quarterback hits, they had 10, which is pretty formidable. I mean, there's just nothing. There's nothing there for me. They preyed on Julian Davenport, who sucks. He's on his 4th team in 4 years. That should tell you something. And he started for Indianapolis yesterday,
right,
at a premier position. They need Eric Fisher to get healthy immediately.
Did you find?
And I don't think he's overly good.
Did you find the grades you were looking for?
I did. 3 of the Colts starting 5 linemen yesterday were in the bottom quarter of the NFL in Pro Football Focus grades. That's hard to do.
Right.
Usually, one of the guys is blowing coverages and it kind of makes everybody else look weak. All 3 were bad. I mean, it's not, it just is what it is. I still look at Seattle as exactly the same team that I did 24 hours ago. And I'll be really honest with you. They play the Titans this week. Guess what? I'll probably have the Titans to beat them.
Okay.
Because people overreact to what they see the most recently.
Yep.
That game's in Seattle, so I may not. I may not.
Okay.
But it's possible.
Last year, the big criticism for the Los Angeles Chargers was that they cannot finish games, and that's exactly what they did in Week 1 with Brandon Staley. They were able to take advantage of mistakes by the Washington football team and get a comeback 20-16 win. And I think that says a lot about Justin Herbert being able to come in. And not only did they capitalize, obviously, when Washington gives you the ball at their 4-yard line, it's hard not to punch that in sometimes. But the fact that they got the ball back after that and Herbert was able to salt the game away, making big throws on 3rd downs. I think they converted like 4 3rd downs on that last drive of the game. To me, that said a lot.
It did. I don't feel markedly different about either of these teams. I feel different about Washington with the hip subflexation of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, yeah.
Because with Taylor Heineke, I don't know how warm and fuzzy I feel about this team. On the bright side, 2 of your next 3 games are against the Giants and the Falcons. So I think you'll be fine.
But Taylor Heineke, he played well in the playoff game last year. He came in place of Ryan Fitzpatrick after he got hurt, and he had a decent stat line. 11 of 15 for 122 yards and a touchdown. They kept everything close. I think Washington is going to be fine. He's the quarterback. I don't think he's that big of a downgrade from Ryan Fitzpatrick on average.
I do.
I think Ryan Fitzpatrick can give you those big games, but he's also going to have really shitty games. And I'm not saying Taylor Heineke's not going to have bad games. All I'm saying is, so far, when he's come in and been asked to play with this offense, he's been very efficient.
Here's what I will tell you. The Washington football team they hung in lockstep with the Chargers, losing their starting quarterback, being borderline irrelevant on offense. They had 1 player that had an even really decent game for expectations. And you still had a shot to win this game. That tells me a lot. I look at these 2 teams the exact same way I did. I'm going to need to see more before I feel warm and fuzzy about the Chargers. I'm going to need to see more before I feel less than ideal about the Washington football team. I think they're 2 good borderline playoff teams.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts that we didn't get to already on the Texans' blowout of the Jaguars?
No.
No. 37-21 was the final score in that one. Tyrod Taylor, he didn't play bad. Found Brandon Cooks, but there again,
let me give
Jaguars are shit.
Let me give you a cheat code for DFS moving forward. Play players against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
I don't care who they are. I don't care if you know who they are. I don't care. They're that bad. But no, I had no other takeaways. The Texans still suck. Actually, you know what? I lied. I do have a takeaway.
Okay.
Why in the shit did Mark Ingram get so many damn carries?
Because it was working. You go with the hot hand.
In what world was it working?
I don't know.
He averaged 3 yards a freaking carry. And he's 116 years old.
That's the best we could expect to do. I don't know. Why?
Yeah, here's
I don't
another
even know
question.
why he's on the team.
Here's another question, and I can't emphasize this enough. Why did Carlos Hyde have more touches than James Robinson, you stupid motherfucker? I didn't mean to let that slip out, but I've been thinking it for one whole day.
No,
That's not the way this is supposed to go. It's almost as if Urban Meyer thinks he's smarter than, history.
Oh, you mean like Chip Kelly? Or, his name just slipped out of my head. Jim Harbaugh? Oh, that's not who I was after. Greg Schiano?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Steve Spurrier? Well, Carlos Hyde. That's what I just figured it out.
Uh-huh.
That's what I see when I see Urban Meyer.
Steve Spurrier?
I see the old ball coach. Yep, Carlos Hyde. Started off hot. 9 carries.
Right.
Not too good.
Right. The Chiefs came back to beat the Cleveland Browns, and who's shocked? 33-29 was the final score. At the half, Cleveland was, in the first half, Cleveland was just dominating. 22-10 at the break, and in the second half, the wheels came off. You had 2 major turnovers there in the fourth quarter that just absolutely sealed your fate because you don't give Patrick Mahomes more chances to beat you.
I said it on Twitter. I'm going to say it again right now. As long as the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns is Baker Mayfield, in January, they will continue to be at home with Baker Mayfield. Mm-hmm. He's not good. He's not a good quarterback, period.
But he was good up until the interception that sealed the game.
That's kind of... So what you just said is kind of like saying, you're a good driver until you plunged us off a cliff.
Exactly.
You were doing great driving in a straight line, and then that first turn came, and you just went Bonnie and Clyde off the fucking mountain.
Bonnie and Clyde.
No, that's not how that works.
You just mixed like 2 movies together.
I've never seen any of them, so who gives a fuck? Was it Thelma and Louise?
Thelma and Louise. That's the one you were looking for.
I knew it had Susan Sarandon in it.
Yeah.
So who gives a shit?
She wasn't in Bonnie and Clyde.
No, she was in the fucking other one.
Oh, okay.
Now you're confusing me. I've never seen these movies. Just roll with it. Fuck. You knew what I was talking about.
Sorry, when you say shit like that to me, it sounds like, I love that movie with Tom Hanks where he went to space. What was it called? Forrest Gump. That was it. Sorry. I can't let it go.
Curtis Davis just earned +5 in the comments solely because he went full on Jeremy Greene. He said, I bet the spread when it was 5 on the Chiefs and got kicked out of B-dubs due to how loud I was cursing and almost got into a fight with the manager after they went for 2. +5 for you for that. It would have been +10 if you had gotten into a fight with the manager of B-dubs. And it would have been literally, if it had been any other restaurant, we'll tell you why soon enough, I would have given you +20.
Right.
Don't get into fights at B-dubs.
Yeah,
at least
don't
for
do
the
that.
next, 12 to 16 months.
Yeah, we don't need that coming back on us.
Yeah. And if you do, don't say our names. I got drunk watching this big leprechaun with a big fat beard. And now I want to fight you aggressively.
Adam Black says Baker is Jake Delhomme.
And that's probably nice because I liked him. I like him a lot. Did I say Bonnie and Louise?
No, you said Bonnie and Clyde.
My wife said Bonnie and Louise in the comments. So. Fuck, I don't know. 2 people drove a car off a cliff. I don't know. Figure it out.
It was Laverne and Shirley. That's what it was.
I don't care if it was Rocky and fucking Bullwinkle. I don't care. We have a segment that literally is called Jeremy Saw a Movie. And it's sarcastic as shit.
Yep. The The Chiefs were pretty damn good yesterday in the comeback against the Cleveland Browns. The Browns did Brown things. I heard the stat this morning. This is now the 7th opener in a row that the Cleveland Browns have lost.
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
Yep. But the Chiefs were everything that you could ask for. I mean, Tyreek Hill, 11 catches for 190-something yards.
Hey, he's good at football. I don't know if you knew that, but Tyreek Hill's good at football.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He is pretty good. But there again, the Cleveland Browns, they're going to do Brown things, and they did them yesterday. The Dolphins and the Patriots. The Dolphins beat the Patriots 17-16. All because the New England Patriots couldn't convert at the end of the game. And Damian Harris fumbles and gives the game back to the Miami Dolphins after just missed chance after missed chance.
And I'm going to – all right. I'm going to give you the chance to tell your takeaway of this game, and then I will give mine.
My takeaway of this game?
Because I have a spicy take.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. I think Mac Jones was fine. I think you saw things to really like about Mac Jones. The fact that he could be in a tough division game like that and be very efficient. Damian Harris fumbling the ball. It's going to be interesting to see how his future goes with Bill Belichick, because we know how Bill Belichick feels about fumbling the ball, especially in big spots in games. To me, this was two mediocre teams just battling out somebody trying to get a win.
Your spicy take is very close to mine.
Okay.
I watched this entire game and went, neither one of these teams are as good as you think they are. Neither of them. Let's play a fun game after what you saw yesterday. This is the Miami Dolphins schedule through the second week in November.
Okay.
All right, you've already beaten the Patriots. Play the Bills next week.
No.
At the Raiders.
Yeah, I like them.
I don't. Raiders have a little bit of a grudge to settle, and I'll bet you $1 to a donut. Now, granted, after yesterday, I'd probably bet the opposite of anything I said.
Yeah.
So, feel free. I think you're going to see the Raiders score more points tonight than you think.
Okay.
At the very least, their offense is more dynamic than what you saw yesterday out of New England.
Yep.
And it was just a slugfest. And I shouldn't even call it a slug. It was a sludge fest. Kind of like the Washington football team stadium. Colts.
Yeah.
I'll take the Colts.
Okay.
At the Bucks.
Yeah, no brainer.
Then you go Jaguars, Falcons.
Yeah, they win those.
At the Bills.
No.
Not a snowball's chance in hell.
No.
Texans and the Ravens.
They win one of those.
There you go. That's a bad damn start. Now, same game with a different team.
Okay.
The New England Patriots play at the Jets this week.
Win.
Okay.
Win.
I'm not disputing that. You said it way too quickly.
Okay.
Whose pass rush is better? Theirs or Carolina's?
Oh, New England's?
Is New England's pass rush better?
It's Carolina.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
How much did Sam Wilson, Jesus Christ, I saw that sign like 14 times yesterday.
Sam Wilson Road.
How much did Zach Wilson appear to struggle to score when they didn't get to him? There you go. Saints. Good luck. Buccaneers.
Nope.
At the Texans.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one. Cowboys.
No.
Cowboys are just going to outshoot.
No.
You can't stay. You cannot stick with them because you can't score with them.
Right.
Jets again.
Yep.
At the Chargers. At the Panthers. Browns. I could see that. I could see both of these teams being like 4-6, with wins over the worst teams on their schedule.
I'd agree.
I said a long time ago, the Patriots and the Dolphins are closer to the Jets than any of the three of them are to the Bills.
Indeed.
And nothing I saw yesterday changed my mind. By the way, Damian Harris is my this year little boyfriend, and I don't care that he fumbled. I still love him, and I want us to be best friends and do karate in the garage.
I'm going to use that line that you like to use on me so much. It doesn't matter what you think. It matters what Bill thinks.
Yeah.
And Bill still knows. Bill's don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Bill's going to bench him or anything like that. It's just maybe the carries might get spread out a little bit.
To who?
James White, Ramondre Stevenson.
They ran the ball 30 times yesterday.
Yep.
How many carries did Damian Harris have?
22.
23. The others were Brandon Bolden with 1, Ramondre Stevenson with 1, Jonnu Smith with 1, and James White with 4.
Yeah.
And 2 of those were checked. 2 of those were passing plays that Mac Jones checked into a run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Damien Harris is going to be just fine.
Yeah, probably so. The Saints went to Jacksonville, and they had to play the Packers. And you would have expected that they'd have put up these kind of numbers if they were playing the actual team that lives in Jacksonville. But no, they were playing the Packers, and they dusted them 38-3. Jameis Winston threw 5 touchdown passes. He didn't break 200 yards, did he?
Nope.
5 touchdown passes and like 180-something yards.
I swear to you, the last deep ball was almost like Sean Payton just going, hey, in case you were curious, he can do this. He just hadn't had to.
Right. The Saints, I believe, are much better than I thought they were going to be. Although I also think that the Packers are much worse than I thought they were going to be. Or at least they were in that one game. I get it, Aaron Rodgers, no offseason. They had all the drama, whatever.
I don't care about any of that. The way they showed up was inexcusable.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at the box score.
Okay.
What was Aaron Jones' total stat line?
His total stat line?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I mean, he ran for 40-something yards.
Aaron Jones?
Yeah, wasn't it?
He had 5 carries for 9 yards.
Oh, God.
And then he had 2 catches, though, for 13 yards. He had 7 touches for 22 yards. Do you remember when I was like, I cannot find a way that I can get excited about Aaron Jones in the first round?
Yeah.
That's why. Oh, but they paid him. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, every coach of the Green Bay Packers looks at Aaron Jones and goes, fuck that guy. Anytime things don't go their way, they just go, Aaron, your turn. You do things now.
Right.
And good Lord, was he bad.
Yeah, Aaron played very, very poorly. 15 of 28 for 133 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was awful yesterday. And
he was poopy.
He took the blame for it, and the question is, how fast can they rally? How fast can they pull things together and figure out who they are supposed to be?
Well, they play the Lions this week, so that should be a happy little accident.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I think the game's gonna be much closer than we expect.
The Lions?
Yeah.
Shit. They will beat the Lions by 50.
You think so?
Hell yeah. Fire up every Lion. Or every Packer. I mean, shit.
Against the Lions.
God, I can't stop doing that. Fire up every Packer.
Okay. I don't know if you can turn it around in 1 week. I get we don't believe in the Detroit Lions, but the Lions just played close with the 49ers.
They didn't play close with the 49ers.
At the end, that was a one-score game.
They were down by $1 billion. Mm-hmm. San Francisco 100% outplayed them for 3.5 quarters. Mm-hmm. I mean, into the ground.
Uh-huh.
Oh, but we kept fighting. You were never a threat to win that game. Ever.
Wait. Didn't they have the ball at like the 4-yard line at the end of that game?
They were never a threat to win that game.
Okay.
Oh, wait, what if it goes to overtime? What do you think's going to happen?
Hell,
San Francisco's going to mater right down the field as they had.
Hell, I thought the same thing about the Cincinnati-Minnesota game, but that didn't go my way. So week 1's always weird in the NFL. And the 38-3 shellacking of the Green Bay Packers was
Hold
just
on.
one of the
We got a new name in the comments. Make Will. We're like a AA meeting, so this is what we do. He said, wait a minute, McQueel. There we go, because he even said it in the comments.
McKeel.
McKeel.
Oh, McKeel.
Son of a... Stop saying words! I'm getting confused. Welcome to the show. He also said I'm hilarious, which makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Mm-hmm. If you ever want to guarantee you'll get shout-outs on this show, stroke my ego. Because my ego is like a fat cat. It is what it is.
It's like a fat cat.
Look, I've been fat since I was a kid. You tell me I'm pretty, and I'll give you things.
Yeah. God. So, what was your point that you were going to make?
fuck, I don't know.
After you accepted all, you just took all that.
Shower me with love and tell me I'm pretty.
Yeah, just.
I
get full on
What
compliments.
game were we even talking about?
We were talking about the Saints and the Packers.
Oh, they suck.
They suck.
Yeah, here's my analysis. The Packers sucked. But they're going to beat the Lions by 11 billion points next week.
Okay. The Broncos, 27-13 over the New York Giants. The Giants are as bad as we thought they were. Offensive line is god-awful. Saquon Barkley. Just fucking A. All the things you were afraid of if you're a Saquon Barkley owner, it all came to fruition yesterday. He got 10 carries and had 26 yards. Thank you, you son of a bitch. Yes, I have him in like 4 leagues, and I'm pissed about it now. You know I shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway. Daniel Jones, he was usual Daniel Jones. I mean, he had a couple of plays where you thought, hey, he looks like a real quarterback. And then, of course, the fumbles and the miscues, all of that plays into it. They're bad. The Giants are just horrible.
They suck a lot.
And the Broncos, the running game was fine. Melvin Gordon hit a big 70-yarder, which was most of his big day. 11 carries for 101 yards, and that 70-yard touchdown run.
I'm going to give you an analogy with the New York Giants.
Okay.
You remember when you were in high school and
it's a long time ago.
Longer for you than me. And you were doing, over the pants hand stuff with your significant other in the car.
Uh-huh.
And then it got to Handy J time, and the rhythm was just never right. It was like, you can do this till kingdom, absolutely until kingdom come, no pun intended. I tried to audible it, and I couldn't. And you just went, there's just no rhythm here whatsoever.
Right.
That is the New York Giants.
Okay. I like the analogies.
Let me just do it myself.
I always like your analogies.
I was kept in a closet in the cold for a very long time. So.
Yeah. Biggest thing came out of the game for me was, Jerry Jeudy getting hurt, getting carted off the field.
Hold up, we got to talk about that. First of all, Colin. What up, Colin?
What's up?
Like an AA meeting with sports, you always get shouted out the first time we see your name and anytime you say something funny. Sorry.
And he complimented you again, of course.
100%.
God. Stop feeding his ego, please.
My ego's so big that I strap it in a seatbelt when I drive places.
Oh my God.
I don't want it to get hurt.
No, welcome, Colin.
Again, who the fuck were we talking about?
We were talking about the Broncos and the Giants.
Oh, Jerry Jeudy. That injury looked horrible. When I saw DraftKings shared the video and I went, we were driving back from Charlotte.
Yeah.
Then it comes out, there's no structure. They did an x-ray, no structural damage. Your bones are weird, bro.
He's very
Your
busy.
bones are weird. You're doing it wrong, plastic man.
Now, wait.
You stepped on your
confused.
own calf and you didn't break anything. The hell's the matter with your bones, bro?
It's a little pliable. Just a little pliable, because it did look horrible.
I
But
got news for you.
it went to the point of just almost breaking and then just somehow leveled out and bounced back.
It went to the point of I literally would have shown up in a full body cast today. If I accidentally stepped on a dog bone or some shit and my ankle rolled like that, I'd out.
Right.
DNP broken.
Right.
4 to 6 weeks. Zach Hurst, go take my spot. We'll do the show from my bedroom because I'm in traction.
Broncos win 27-13.
But can we stop overreacting to that? That defense is not good. The Giants are not good.
No.
Teddy Bridgewater was super efficient. The defense did what it needed to, and Melvin Gordon hit a 648-yard touchdown that I swear to you, if any other defense in the league had been on the field, somebody would have caught him. But they weren't. Good. You got to win. Yay. Here's a gold star. You did a thing. Good for you.
Oh, I love Kevin Vick. Hit the bell for Kevin Vick. Yeah, there never was a huge Panther in the stadium until Jeremy's ego showed up. It was the living embodiment of Jeremy, how big he thinks he is. And then last night on Sunday Night Football, you had Matt Stafford come out and be everything you wished he was going to be when he joined the LA Rams. 34-14, they destroyed the Chicago Bears secondary, as I said they would. That's a bad secondary. There were huge plays that Matt Stafford hit. I mean, hell, he hit a 67-yarder to Justin Jefferson.
Wasn't to Justin Jefferson. It would have been really hard to throw that ball from L.A. to Cincinnati. That's like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite throwing that ball over the Bear Mountains. Van Jefferson, who, by the way, is going to have more of a role in this offense than people think.
I believe he will as well. He had a 56-yarder to Cooper Kupp. There were big splash plays for this Sean McVay offense. Is Matt Stafford the missing link? Is he the one that might win them a Super Bowl? Jared Goff got him there, but is he that's been the question all offseason. Is he the bigger difference maker than Jared Goff to be able to get them to win a Super Bowl?
Here's what I'll say. RELAX. That Bears defense is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Bad. I underestimated how bad. It is hard for a defense to be that shit when you have Akeem Hicks and Khalil Mack and Eddie Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Who, by the way, based on what I saw last night, he's catching the bad from all the other players in the secondary. He had two of the worst missed tackles I think I've ever seen. He ran up to one guy and never even put his hands up. He just ran up to him like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
He was like when you're in those inflatable bodysuits and you're just bouncing into each other.
Ah!
David Montgomery ran for over 100 yards. That's a takeaway for the Chicago Bears. I mean, that's a good rush defense in LA. So yeah, I mean, we got to look for tiny positives when you get shellacked on national television.
Oh, a good from the Bears.
Yeah,
the game is over. That's the positive. They can't hurt you anymore because you don't play them again.
Yep.
How bad could this actually go for the Bears?
Their entire season?
Uh-huh.
I mean, it could be bad.
Just humor me for a minute.
Okay.
So, obviously, the Rams. This week they play the Bengals.
Yeah, they'll win that game.
Will they, though?
Yeah, they will.
Will they, though?
Cincinnati's not good.
I don't disagree. Cincinnati can score points, and your defense sucks. At the Browns, you're going to get shellacked.
Mm-hmm.
You'll beat the Lions. At the Raiders, Darren Waller's already scored twice and the game's not for a month. Packers at the Buccaneers. That's the first 7 games on this schedule.
Right.
They could lose 6 of those.
Mm-hmm.
God, my favorite pick of the week is going to be the Bengals over them this week. I can already feel it in my soul.
That's going to be at least a 4.5-point spread, I would think.
For Chicago?
Yeah.
It'll move if it is. It will move, and it will move aggressively.
That's where I would guess that the initial line is going to be for that game.
What did you say?
4.5.
You were too high. Started at 4, and it's already come down to 2.5.
Oh, okay.
Jeremy needs to get that before it goes any lower.
Off by a half point. That wasn't bad.
Correct.
You think it's going to swing to? Will it swing enough to even or in Cincinnati's favor?
Until there's not a hold on. Are you asking me if I think this eventually becomes a pick'em or Cincinnati is ultimately favored?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. You know
It's
me, I'm new to the gambling world, so
it's on the road. Home road's a 3-point swing in the NFL. So I don't necessarily think it will swing that much, but it might.
Yeah. I mean, hell, it's only been what, 12 hours since the lines came out, or has it been that?
It was after the 4 o'clock games yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Well, the lines come out after you play. Houston's at Cleveland. What's the line?
Oh, God.
By the way, it's the biggest line movement of the week.
Cleveland -10.
It started at Cleveland -13, which is what Vegas thinks about it. Public narrative, after watching what they did to Jacksonville, has moved it 2 full points in less than 24 hours.
Down?
Down.
So it's 11?
Oh, wait. Where's my button? It's my favorite button.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
Because they should manhandle the Houston Texans. Rams and the Bears, there was nothing surprising to me about that game last night.
How bad the Bears defense is.
Yeah.
How inept they looked. And I'm going to be honest with you. All right, here's my spicy hot take on Justin Fields.
Okay.
They're scared of what would happen. Behind that offensive line, they're terrified of what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Dalton probably had everything set up perfectly, and he was still looking out of his ear hole for a third of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields doesn't even necessarily know how to get the line calls right.
Right.
And he can't check down. I could see a path that Justin Fields doesn't see the field until Matt Nagy's fired. I think Matt Nagy goes down with the ship. And I'll be honest with you, after what I saw last night, you could have fired him today, and I wouldn't have been upset about it.
I still think Urban Meyer is going to be the first coach fired.
Oh, he's not going to get – Urban Meyer will not be the first one fired. He'll be the first one to have a headache and go home. I got to go home and have a headache.
He'll just quit like Randy Edsel. He'll just, fuck it, I'm done.
Randy Edsel didn't quit. He went out and said, I'm retiring at season's end. And the AD went, you said an hour on.
Which, I thought David Cutcliffe was going to have that moment, too. They trailed NC A&T more than they should have on Friday night.
Yeah, and then they
boat raced them in the second half.
And then they covered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot to teams not named Florida State. God. The more I think about it, the more angry I get.
Whew. Go Gamecocks. Yikes. We'll talk about all of the college action, or the big highlights of the college action this afternoon on ESPN Asheville. Plus, we'll give you the full preview of the Monday night game tonight, the Baltimore Ravens against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, and I have we're bringing back a segment today that I haven't done in a long time.
I'm mad?
I'm mad!
Yeah!
I yell on the radio for several minutes. And today, I'm mad about college football.
Excellent. All right, so look forward to the I'm Mad at the end of the show tonight. Also, the Green on Green picks of the night. How'd you do on your college picks? How'd that 10-way parlay go for you?
It was over literally by 1:30.
It was a bad weekend.
It lasted less time than a Vegas marriage.
You did end up 6-6 again, though?
Fuck yeah.
All right. I mean, hey.
Thank you, Colorado. You saved a really piss-poor weekend for me.
Yeah.
Live betting Colorado. Wah-wah-wee-wah.
Yeah. All of it is coming your way this afternoon on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400 locally. Of course, you can hear the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, live or on demand, and we're live in the Ingalls studio 3 to 5 every afternoon. Again, get it on the iHeartRadio app. Week one was a bloodbath in some respects. Actually, most respects.
On to week two!
But it's in the books, and we are on to week two. We'll have your recap tomorrow morning of the Monday night football game right here. Doing power rankings tomorrow, or is that a Wednesday thing?
Oh, you know what?
I think that's a Wednesday thing.
It is a Wednesday thing.
Yeah. So
shit.
Yeah. So tomorrow we'll probably do biggest hits and misses, fantasy football, waiver
we'll do a lot
wires.
of fantasy football stuff.
Yeah, we got to do waiver wires as well. This is the first week of actually hitting the waiver wire in between week one and week two. Don't know that I'm going to be running out there to grab Mark Ingram, but he'll probably be on the list of big waiver wire targets this week. Week one is in the books. We appreciate everybody joining us here in the Wicked Weed studio this morning.
No,
And we'll see you this afternoon on the radio side. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you can make money with us on bettus.com.
A whole bunch of you joined in, and a whole bunch of you. Somehow, I don't even know how many people signed up because I didn't go that far down the rabbit hole. But I can see how much you wager. I can't see who does what or who you are or anything like that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of money wagered off our website this weekend.
Which is great. We love to see it.
Yeah, because they pay us every time you do that. So keep doing that.
BetUS.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy, and they will match your deposit 125%. Up to $2,500. So we encourage you to get involved. Bet early. Bet often. Use the Sportsocracy promo code, please, at betus.com. Have a good afternoon. See you later.